Welcome to my channel. Mr. Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, has a lot going for him. He has the support of the masses of Nigeria, and he has a lot of supporters, enthusiastic supporters, and even fanatical supporters. And it's a good thing because for you to be able to compete at this level and you are not ready to spend money the way that your opponents, especially the APC presidential candidate and the PDP presidential candidate, are going to spend, because these people have a lot of war chest which they are ready to deploy for campaign. And even though their means of acquiring this money is suspect, but let us not go into that. So it is good if you're a candidate like Mr. Peter Obi and you don't have war chest financially to compete, to have enthusiastic supporters who are ready to do work for you without you being there. That is what is playing out right now. But some of these supporters should be careful so that they don't, in their enthusiasm, they market a very good product. Peter Obi is an excellent product as far as this competition right now is concerned. He has been adjured by every fair-minded analyst, pundit, that he is the best material for the job. But in their desperation or enthusiasm to marketing, some people may do damage to the marketing of Mr. Peter Obi to other Nigerians who are yet to buy into the Obi phenomenon or who are yet to be obedient. There is a Facebook user who made a post. I think he goes by the name of Lamentation of a Bishop. He made a post on Facebook claiming that Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, said that Peter Obi's $20 million investment on behalf of Anambra State at Sabmila Group has now is now worth $100 million. Now, even when I saw that thing, I have to look at it very well, the source where it was coming from. And I didn't want to share it with anybody. And good enough, the former governor of Anambra State had to come to the comment box himself, Soludo himself, to come and say that he never said that anywhere and that it was fake news. And that he also wrote there that people should market their candidates efficiently without making up figures. Now that brings me to the main issue I want to talk about today. There is enough material about the successes that was recorded under P2B's administration in Anambra State that his supporters don't need to make up anything. There are facts and figures, verifiable facts and figures on what Mr. P2B achieved, which they can use to market him without creating any ambiguity, without creating any doubts in the mind of Nigerians. Because when you bring out facts that are not verifiable, that is disputable, you are not helping the P2B campaign, and you are not moving his ministry, so to say, forward. You are in fact demarketing him because you make his brand look suspect by when you do that. That's a lesson that obedient people, enthusiastic young men and women who are tech savvy, who want to show that Obi actually is the man to note and to correct. Now, if you look at Mr. Peter Obi, one of the things going for him is the fiscal discipline he introduced in Anambra State and indeed in Nigeria. Before I go forward, please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to this channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, and like this video, share this video widely. When you subscribe to this channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. For example, you can, it's a fact that Mr. Peter Obi left behind for his successor, Willie Obiano, when he was handing over in 2014, 75 billion naira. This was at a time other state governors were leaving behind debts for their successors. If that's not enough ground for people to look at him twice, I don't think there is any other ground you can think of. Of course, that's not his only achievement. He was able to accomplish this because Mr. Peter Obi is a prudent manager of financial resources. And that is also could also have been because of his banking background. So he was able to leave this much for the Obiano administration. Some of these monies were denominated into dollars as investments for Anambra State, and they are yielding results today. If you look at the airports, the cargo airport that was built by Willie Obiano, governor of Taraba State, said it by himself. Governor Isiaku, he said it by himself that Obiano told him, because he asked Obiano, how managed you were able to build this kind of airport? Obiano told him it was from the savings that his predecessor left behind that he was able to build that airport. So that airport you see standing today as a legacy of Obiano was actually built with the money that was saved for Anambra State by Mr. Peter Obi. It is a very good point to use to market Mr. Peter Obi as a man who could see the future. Mr. Peter Obi was the first governor to make his state to save sovereign wealth fund, the first in sub-Saharan Africa. A lot of money was saved for investment for Anambra State. He was not a governor who believed in just consuming all the money that comes from Abuja like his counterparts. So this is very important. And if you look at it, one of the reasons why Nigerians love Mr. Peter Obi today is because of his prudence in management of public and even personal resources. Look at what Mrs. Bianco wrote about Mr. Peter Obi, how he was able to forego an expensive suit and bought a cheaper one so that the rest of the money could go to charity. These are positivities that anybody can use to market Mr. Peter Obi. So he shows what the country needs right now, a manager of resources. This country is in a total financial mess. Even to pay salary, they borrow money to pay salary. And the country cannot continue like this. So there's enough facts and figures to support Mr. Peter Obi without going to make up figures that are not verifiable. Even the similar investment that Peter Obi did, I can bet you that that $20 million must have multiplied significantly by now. Even though, even though uh, this Soludo denies it, even though Soludo denies it, but the facts still remain that if the figures were to come out, it will be positive. So this is very important. People should take note of this when they are making their projections and when they are saying things that they are saying, so that they don't have to come and manipulate figures to deceive an apparent attempt to deceive people. No, don't deceive. There's nothing to deceive. Mr. Pitobi has good facts and figures, and his achievement is verifiable, and there are people who can testify to it. Look at what he did in Anambra State to transform the education sector. Before Peter Obi became governor, Anambra State education was in shambles. Teachers were not paid salaries for months, years. There were no school functioning. But one of the things he did was to hand over the schools to the original owners, to the missionaries. And he did not just hand over the school to them and remove the hand of the government. He was paying the salaries of, of the staffs of these missionary schools, but allowed them to run the general administration. And that helped a lot, because you begin to see missionaries, reverend fathers, reverend sisters being in charge of schools. And it changed a lot of things. And before you know it, Anambra State, that used to be number 26 in WAEC NECO examinations, became number one in Nigeria. In 3 years, three consecutive years, Anambra was producing best results across the country. That's what a thinking leader, a solution leader, because what we need now in Nigeria is a solution provider, not somebody who will come and regurgitate the problem to us, reminding us what was left behind by the APC administration or the PDP administration. We need a problem solver. He was able to make sure that the secondary schools in Anambra State, had access to computer. And he was able to supply thousands of computers to schools in Anambra State. In fact, his investment in supply of computers to schools in Anambra State is rated as the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. He provided internet services for several schools in Anambra State and prioritized the welfare of the teachers who are teaching the students. And he made sure that teachers were never owed salaries. These are all verifiable records that Mr. Peter Obi accomplished as governor. So he don't need all this drama of putting in figure. Of course, I know that, as I said earlier on, the investment in Submiller is a profitable venture for Anambra State any day. When the figures are out, I can bet my bottom dollar that Anambra people will be smiling. So even though Soludo denied that and say that he didn't say anything like that, but Soludo didn't say that the investment was a loss. He didn't say the investment was a waste for the state. He only said that he never said that the investment is now worth $100 million. He never said that the $20 million Peter Obi invested in some Miller Group. It's now worth $100 million. But of course, many of us are investors in our small ways. And the some Miller Group, if you go and check their history, you know that they have been a very profitable company for a very long time. And I believe that the $20 million that Peter Obi invested there is still valuable, is still yielding result, and that the dividend is accruing to Anambra State, even as I speak. But the emphasis here is that there is enough material, there is enough information on the accomplishments of Mr. Peter Obi in office that he don't need any drama of any of his obedient supporters to go and try to put words in people's mouth or falsify figures. Sometimes when I see some of these things, I walk past them. But the truth of the matter is that there is a need for them to be putting in correct figures, correct information, so that those they are trying to sell Mr. Peter Obi to, they are also competitors who want to sway those people on their side. Because what we have now is a struggle for hearts and minds of Nigerians. And P2B is winning the hearts and minds of Nigerians by their suffering, by what they are going through today, by the killings in the country, by their inability to feed their families, by their inabilities to pay their children's school fees, by the high rate of unemployment, by the ASU lecturers that have been at home for months now, and by students that have been at home for so many months right now. So there's a lot going for Mr. Peter Obi that he don't need any drama from anyone to come and obfuscate some facts that don't add any value to his campaign. Thank you for watching this. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the subscription bell button, hit the notification bell, like this video, share it widely, so that anytime I have another video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.